What is going on YouTube? Tonight, I'm going to show you guys how to make this. If you're here just to learn how to make custom logos like the ones on this kiosk, just jump to 23 minutes. Admittedly, we've made something like this before, but prior, I just had you kind of take a camera and put it inside a 3D scene that already exists. Tonight, I want to expand upon those skills for you so you can kind of make it more customized, make it your own, add your own logos or your name in there on different items. In addition, you can kind of just build it out with your own props. So let's go ahead and do that. Right away, we're just going to launch in 5.6 here. This is the version I'm always using when I make these videos for you guys. If you guys don't know what that is, it's Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is from Epic Games. It's just a game engine. It's free. Don't get discouraged. It's a lot of parts, but we're going to kind of cut through them like we always do. When you first launch, you're going to be met with this window right here. Go ahead and click Games for me, click blank, and name it whatever you want. I'm going to name this Beach because I'm going to make a beach scene. All right, once launched, this is the screen you're going to be met with, or something similar. This outliner might be on the left, something like that. This is just kind of my personal preferred setup. And we're not going to go over all the basics this time. We've done that in every other Unreal video. I'm just going to dive into it because there's a lot of other stuff to cover. So first thing we're going to do is just kind of set up what we're going to do tonight. So I'm going to go over here to File in the corner, and we're going to go to New Level, and we're going to make a basic level right here. And click Create for me on the basic level. Then go back up to File and click Save Current Level As. And we're going to go right here in the Open, right click, make a new folder named Maps. Open that folder, and we're going to make it whatever you want. I'm going to name mine Beach. All right, and there it is. You get a new folder down here in your content browser, and then the maps is, or the beach map is inside the maps folder, and you can tell it says level, the name of it, the icon, all of it. That's just what levels look like inside Unreal. Okay, from there we're going to go over to edit here. We're going to go to editor preferences right there, and then right here in the middle of the screen it says asset editor open location default. Change this down to last docked window or main window for me, and then this is under appearance if you ended up on a different screen somehow, but that should be where you end up. All right, and then from there we're going to go edit, or I'm sorry, we're going to go project settings. This one you are going to click maps and modes, and then right here where it says editor startup map, click on that for me and type in the name of your map. Mine is Beach. Click that and then go ahead and exit out of that. And what that's going to do is if we close our program and we come back in, it'll load us into this map right here instead of the original one we just started off on before. All right, so okay, cool, we're ready to begin. And tonight we're going to do something a little different. I'm actually going to leave selection mode here and we're going to start using landscape mode. Okay, so I don't want you to get discouraged. It's a cool system, but it's actually pretty straightforward if you just like take a step back and play with it a little bit. All right, so when you launch landscape mode, this is what you're going to get. Okay, and just a heads up real quick, if you see me go from landscape mode to select mode or back and forth, shift 2 is the hotkey to go to landscape mode, shift 1 is to go back to selection mode. So that's, if you see me go quick, that's what I'm doing, and I'll try to say it when I do, of course. So all right, so when you're in landscape mode, this is what you'll see, a bunch of green, and what this is quadrants, 63 by 63 to be exact, because that's listed right here on section size. And what this does is, let's just click create and show you. Let's say I created this real quick. You basically get this giant blank canvas made for making a map, like a world in a video game essentially, right? So, and you'll be met with a bunch of tools. Yours may look something like this. Go ahead and drag that out because we're going to need to see what's in there, right? And just to give you a rundown, you're welcome to play with these as much as you want. Sculpt here is pretty straightforward. If I just left click and move around, it starts pulling up the map, right? So if you're making like a little ridge line with mountains or something like that, you can just start pulling it up. And then down here, the strength of your brush, the size, the fall off, all that kind of stuff is pretty straightforward, right? Let's say I didn't want it to be quite this high, like I don't like this peak. I can hold down shift and left click and it'll start bringing it back down for me. And that's essentially what's going to go on here, right? And then they all do something like that. Like I eraser, starts erasing what I just made, smooth, it'll smooth it out. Like if it's a start gradient, it'll start smoothing it out and stuff like that. You get the idea, right? We're not going to play with them all. Okay, so what we're actually in landscape mode for is option 1. You can create your own. If you want to get familiar with these and start playing with them a little bit, feel free to create your own little world here and backdrop, okay? Option 2 is what I'm going to use. So let me back all this out. Let me just go all the way back here to when I didn't touch anything. There we go. Okay, so what we are going to do, or what I'm going to do, is use something called a height map, and this is going to be your option 2. Over here on the left side, instead of create new, you can go over to import from file. Click on this, and then height map file right there where it has these 3 dots. I'm going to click on these and I'm going to import a height map. See these gray maps right here? Ooh, these gray maps, these are all height maps. And what a height map is it tells the program, hey, make the landscape look like this and whatever that may be, right? If you don't know where to get height maps, you can simply Google it. There's tons and tons of places and resources for them. They're pretty easy to find. I'm going to be using this one tonight just to show you kind of how they work, all right? But the map isn't that complex. We could have just made it. So I'm going to double click on this, and right away you can see the green's changed, right? It's see-through now, and all these little topographies starting to show. And once I have it clicked on like this, all all I do is import right here. And just like that, boom, our map has appeared, okay? So if I just zoom around here, you're going to see what the map looks like. And it looks pretty good, right? What you're seeing right there, that little spot right there, that is going to be the level that I never deleted when we first made this map. So if I just hit Shift 1, right, I'm going to go back to selection mode. I can click on it, and I'm just going to click delete. Cool, it's gone now. I'm going to go back to Shift 2. And now that we have our map, I'm going to go ahead and get the first thing I want, which is water, because you're going to be using water for this. So for this one, I'm going to go into edit right here. I'm going to go to plugins, and I'm going to type in the word water. And right here, water experimental, I'm going to click on this. Yes, I agree to use it. No, I don't want to restart yet, because I'm also going to get the movie render queue, because we're going to need that later. I got my movie, right? Render queue, because we're going to need it later on, and that one also requires a restart. Cool. Click on both those, quick restart, save file, and I'll see you when it restarts. All right, mine is restarted, and I actually was met with a collision error, but that's all right. I'm honestly just going to ignore it because what we're doing isn't that intense. So I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to exit this, and cool, we're back to where we need to be because this is the map I told Unreal to use when the game launches. Okay, so we're good to go. Now what I'm going to do is up here, right where that plus sign is, a little cube. It's your quick selection menu. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to search water. And you're going to have all these different options now from that plugin, and you're welcome to play around with them. Today, I'm going to be using the one that says lake. And if I just click lake, it's just going to bring it in right here. Like, yep, I want to make a layer underwater, complete, and it's just going to pop it into my scene, and there it is, right? Now, it's obviously not quite what I'm looking for, but it's pretty easy to manipulate, and I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to back it up a little bit. Somewhere right around there will probably be all right for what I want to do. And I actually don't want it this high, of course, so I'm going to start bringing it down and see how it gets rid of the landscape. So just close enough right there is going to be fine. Now, in order to make it the size, because I want it to look big, I'm going to be sitting somewhere right, like, you know, down here somewhere, and I want to look out that direction. So what you can do is see these little squares here. You can get a hold of these. See how I double click that, and now I have two more little controls. These little controls make it so you can bend and twist this anchor of it. Like if I double click on this one here, see how it's twisting everything and making it all round. That's what those are made to do, okay? But what I'm clicking on them for right now is I'm actually going to, oopsies, I'm going to click back on the main one there, and I'm going to drag it all the way out there. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Then I'm going to double click on this one, and I'm going to drag it all the way out there. That looks pretty good to me. And now this one, I actually needed to come up this way a little bit, and I'm going to need another one right in this area. So I'm going to right click on the line. It says to add spline point here. I'm going to click on that, and it gives you a new one. Now, I want you to note the ground right here. When I drag this water over it, it's going to get rid of that ground. So if I go like this, it just eats it. Just a little heads up so you know what you're getting into. And I think this will probably work for what I'm creating, because I'm going to be sitting somewhere about right here. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Let's hit G real quick so we can take a look. It looks pretty good. You can see the land over there. I don't think anyone would notice, but we're going to fix it just because it's going to bug me if I'm honest with you. I'm going to hit G again. That brings everything back up. So I'm going to add one more spline over here, add spline. And really, I could probably do it another way, but that's just the quickest way. Boom. And look at that. Now we have great water scene. Cool. Our water's added. What I want to do now is I want to fix the ground here so it's just kind of all the same level and flat. So I'm going to go back to landscape mode right here, right? I'm going to go to flatten, which is going to be right here. And I want it all to be this height. So if you notice, like there's the lower level, this level, and then a higher level. So if I go right here in the middle and I click and drag, it'll start pulling everything to that height. The stuff on the right will go down, the stuff on the left will come up. So watch this. And just like that, I'm just clicking and dragging around, and it's all smooth now. And then I'm gonna start come over here and look, oh, it won't work. Oh, but it kind of works. Sometimes it's a little buggy. See, okay, cool. Now it's good to go. It drug it all down to that further level, but that's okay. So look at, no one's gonna know that. And now we're good to go. And this right here will be our beach. Okay, now I need to add a texture to this land, right? So I'm going to go Shift 1 to go back to selection mode. And now this right here, this needs to be texturized. Now my scene, I could simply just add one texture to it because I'm just looking this direction. So I'm going to show you how to do that real quick, just so you understand what you could do if you're doing something similar to me. But if you're doing like a mountain scene or something like that, it won't work. And I'll explain why. So I'm going to bring up the Epic Game Store. We're going to go to the Fab Store right here. Let it load, get it bigger, and I'm just gonna type in like beach sand. Now I have a lot of these downloaded from previous projects, but I'll try to find one real quick here. First, price free. We're not spending money out here doing this, right? Free, and we're just gonna find one that I don't have downloaded so you can get an idea. You know what? I think I have all the free ones downloaded. Essentially, you're going to want to click yes, I want to use that one, and then it'll meet you with a new menu like this, and you're like, what format do you want? You want the texture set, and you want it medium, then you'll click export, okay? That's the goal. I am going to use this rippled sand right here because I'm by the water. It ripples by the water, I think. All right, so again, Unreal 6, yep. Texture, yep. Medium quality. click export. Cool. Now, when I come back into my project, if I go to the content folder here, I will have a new folder called Fab because we are on the Fab store. I double click this. There's going to be a few folders in here. Just keep clicking surfaces, and there it is, rippled sand, right? If I click mid and I go to materials, there's a material already made, right? So with my landscape selected, which I have right here, you can't see because my head's in the way. There, you can see it says landscape right there. I did not mean to zoom all the way out here. Instead of trying to go way back, I'm simply going to click player start and hit F. Brought me right back. Okay. So anyways, with my landscape selected here, I'm going to scroll down to where the materials are, which is going to be right here. That's what these nuns are, right? And if I click and drag this, see how it's like, hey, right here, I accept you. I'm just going to drop it in there and watch this. Boom. I have sand. Now, if I click play and I just put my character like somewhere right here, this is it. That's all we would need. I could just start adding props now and be done. But let's say you're like, well, I don't want to do the beach. I want to do the mountains. In fact, I don't want sand dunes. I want mountains. This wouldn't work because it can't all be grass or all. You need a few materials. So just so you learn a little something extra and you can make your stuff more dynamic, I'm going to show you how to make a landscape brush so you can add different materials to these. All right. So what we're going to do is we're still going to use this material just in a different manner. Let's go back to the content drawer and we're going to get 3 materials total. Sand we already have, counting as 1, so we need 2 more. All right, so I'm going to go back in here and I'm going to search, for me, I'm going to search wild grass because, you know, big bodies of water, they have that tall grass blowing in the wind and stuff like that, which is a prop really, and I could use this, but I'm not going to make it that intense for what we're doing because it won't be on the camera. So wild grass right here, this will work. Yep, I want the texture set, I want a medium, go ahead and export that. And then I need some kind of like cliff rock as well. I know that, so I'm going to come in here and there should be a cliff some kind around here. Let's see here. This one would probably work. Is it free? Yeah, this is free. I don't know if that's quite what I'm looking for. It looks a little busy. Let's just type in the word cliff because I think I have one downloaded already. Yes, I do right here. Okay, cool. Let's do this and let's click export as well. Now, when I come back into my project, I go into the Fab folder and I open up Megascans, surfaces. I now have all 3 here. Okay. That's awesome. Now you might be asking, why do you say Megascans and stuff like that? If you look right here, Quixel Megascan, Quixel Megascan, Quixel Megascan, it's who was uploaded and put them on here. Okay. And Quixel Megascan was the program you used to get things before the Fab store existed. All right. So cool. We have our 3. Awesome. Now I'm going to go back to the content folder. I'm going to right click new folder and I'm going to make a materials folder real quick. I'm going to go inside there. I'm going to right click again and I'm going to make material M_landscape brush. For the name of it. Okay, cool. And I'm going to go ahead and open this material up and it's completely blank. If you've never seen a material tab right now, it can get pretty complex. If you right click, there's tons and tons of options. I don't know them all. I'm not going to try to act like I do or talk to you about them. I'm just going to show you the ones we need. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit Control Spacebar and we're going to bring up those 3 materials. So Fab Store, Megascan, surfaces, there they are, right? So I'm going to go through each one of these and pull out 2 things. I'm going to pull out the base color and the normal map. So let's start right here with the sand one. Okay, I'm going to click on sand, mid. Instead of materials this time, this is the one we used before. I'm going to go mid, and I'm going to go textures. And inside textures, if you look at the last word in all these, base color, bump, displacement, gloss, normal, rough, specular. They're all labeled, right? You just got to kind of look. It's on underscore. They're underscore labeled. So just kind of got to read through it. It's not just random words. All right. So what I need is the base color, this one right here. All right. And I also need the normal map. Now it's very important that I understand where these are for this. So this normal map goes with this sand texture and that matters. So they're going to be like that on purpose. All right. Let me go back. I'm going to back out and I'm going to go to the rock cliff right here. Same thing. Going to the textures. Again, I want the normal map. This will be the second one in the row. And I want the base color, which will be right up there. Okay. And finally, we're going to go one more time. And the last one is our wild grass. Again, I can't stress it enough. You're going to want to remember where they're at. Otherwise, you're going to be like, wait, where was that at? And you're going to have to double back and look again. And if you're learning, it's already going to be a pain, right? Okay. So we have them all in a perfect line. Now I'm going to right click on the open in nothing right here. And I'm going to type in landscape. And I'm looking for a landscape layer blend. It's right there, right? That one right there. Okay, let me stride this out so we got a little working room here. And now with this selected, you can tell selected by the orange box. On the left side here, under the details panel, you might be under nodes, overview parameters. We're going to go to details. And then it says material expression landscape and then layers. And there's this little plus sign. Click this plus sign for me 3 times. Why 3 times? Because we have 3 textures we brought in. So we needed three different indexes, okay? In this first index, what you're going to do is open it and you're going to name it. And this is where it matters. So the first one is sand. Okay, cool. We're going to close that index. Second one is going to be named Cliff Rock And the third one will be named, what was it? Wild grass. Wild grass. Okay, cool. So we have all three named. And now if you go over here, this thing we made, they're all listed right there by the name we chose. So that matters. So with this blend layer selected, we're going to go Control Duplicate, and we're going to slide one down here as well. Okay. And now all we're going to do is plug and play. We're going to take this RGB, click, drag, and this is going to be wild grass. So it gets clicked into wild grass. This is cliff. This gets clicked into the cliff, and this one gets put in the sand layer. Then from this side, this one, wrist pin, we're going to drag it right into the base color because these were all base colors. And we're going to do the same thing down here. RGB, this one is going to be the sand layer. This one is going to be my cliff rock. And this one is going to be my wild glass. That's why it's important to remember which ones are which. And then this is going to put into the normal maps because they're all normal maps. Cool. Now, two more things. We're almost there. Now we're going to right click one more time. We're going to type in landscape again. This time we're looking for landscape chords. It's right here. Open that up. This gets plugged into everything. It's going to go into this UV. It's going to go into this UV, this UV, and let's go ahead and slide it down a little bit. And all three of these ones as well. It's going to control all 6 of these layers. And you'll see why here in a second. And that's good to go. The last thing I want to do, very last one, right click one more time and type in const. Again, a constant right there, not a constant 2 vector, anything like that, just a constant. And we're going to drag this into the roughness right there. And we're going to change this value to 1. All right. That is it. Okay, now click save. Congratulations, you've made your first landscape material. Okay, now go back to the beach layer. Now this time, this is the one we just made, right? I'm going to drag it right where I had the sand, okay? And it's going to immediately come up and it's going to look terrible. But that's okay, all right? So now that everything's looking horrible, it's applied. Let's go back to landscape mode right here. This time at the top where it says manage sculpt paint, I want you to click on paint for me, okay? And now, if you're not drug out enough, drag this out far enough that you can see this button right here. Create layers from assigned materials when I mouse over it. Click on that for me. And boom, there all 3 of them are. Sand, cliff, rock, wild grass. From here on the sand one, you're going to click this plus sign, click that. You want to weight blended layer, yes, and save it where you want to save it. I'm going to let it default save for me. Click save on that. Then I'm going to do the next one right here, weight blended layer, save on that. One more time, weight blended layer, save on that. Now, from here, you are essentially painting. If you want a smaller brush, it's right here. How much fall off you want, like the blend, the strength, how intense you want it, all that is going to be in here, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to click like sand. I know I want my beach to have sand, right? Like that's pretty easy. So I have it selected. I'm just going to click and drag around just like that. I'm just left clicking, holding and dragging around, and it's just adding sand all over the place, right? I want some in the water. Not that they're going to see that far, but it's just like that. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, that's all I want. I'm not even going to worry about going back there because the camera's never going to see back there. I'm just showing you guys kind of how it works, right? Now, mountains. Okay, well, mountains probably have some greenery with cliff rocks coming up. Oops, I didn't mean to double click that. So greenery with cliff rocks. So I'm going to highlight it like that. And now I'm just going to click in here. And look at that. There it comes. That's the greenery. Now, this is a great opportunity to show you something. Let's zoom in. This looks silly, right? Like something's wrong with it. It's repeating too many times. That wild grass. So in order to fix that, we're going to go back to the landscape brush that I had you create. And this right here, the landscape chords, that's what this is for. Click on it. And you have options over here. This one says mapping scales at 0. Let's boop it up to 25, shall we? Hit save on that. And you're going to see, I bet it's fixed. Yes, look at that. Now look at it. Now it looks more natural, okay? And you're just going to keep moving it around just like that. You know, boom, boom, boom. We're going to go in there with it. Some over here. Again, no one's ever going to see any of this. I'm just showing you kind of how it works. It's not a huge deal. Did you see there was a hard line there? All I did was circle back over it to get rid of that hard line. And that's it, boys. This is the whole process. Cool. We'll get back there just in case I can spin around and show you guys. I didn't mean to come forward. Now, let's say we wanted to add cliff rocks, but like you don't want to drag it all over the place like that. Come up top here, see where we're on paint. If we go to noise, it's going to just sporadically add it throughout and have it blend in. So like if I just start clicking cliff rock here, see how it's adding it right there? I don't know if you can see it that well, but it's adding it into the side of this because it's a cliff. Does that make sense? It just starts adding it throughout it. So that way you're not just like trying to force it in different places, and you can just kind of add it yourself. Like maybe I want a little cliff rock over here somewhere, you know, and this is all you're going to do. And it's going to make it look far, far more natural as you go through here. I'll get to add some over here because this would probably have some cliff rock on it. I'm not sure why it doesn't like this area, but whatever. I liked it right there. You get the idea. Cool. Yeah. And that's it. So now let's go play real quick. This looks more natural than all sands and stuff like that. And from here, you could go add props. Now, I'm not going to show you to add props because we're going to be adding props to our beach scene. It's the same thing. You just get rocks for the prop instead of getting beach objects. All right. So cool. That looks great. Now, let's go back to selection mode over here. We're going to take ourselves and we're going to set up right around here because that's about where we want our camera to see, right? So cool. This looks pretty good. Actually, I put a grass here and I don't like that. So we're going to fix that real quick since this is where we're going to be working. Go landscape, go to sand, and I'm going to go to paint, and I'm just going to paint sand right there. Cool. No big deal. I must have clicked that by accident. Cool. No one will ever know. And then I'll just finish that area because I could see it. I changed my camera because of it. And we're good, right? Just like that. Okay. Now, somewhere right around here is where we'll be. So what I'm going to do from here now is our scene is set up. We need some props, right? So I'm going to go back to the Epic Game Store and I'm just going to type in like beach props. Okay, and you can download anything you want. There's tons of stuff like rocks. So you think about it this way. If we wanted to make this perfect, we would probably add some palm trees, some of these rocks sitting throughout, a chair, whatever you want, right? Just for the sake of what we're making right now, I'm going to just do this little group here because it's just going to be easier. So I'm going to go ahead and just export this on. All right. But you can get, your own individual stuff for sure. It's whatever you want. The world's your oyster. Okay. So from there, I'm going to come back here and here are all my props. It opened it right up for me. How awesome is that? So old beach props, and here they all are. Let it go ahead and auto save real quick. So for mine, I'm going to be about right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to start dragging them in. So like, yeah, let's use the chair. Oh yeah, the chair's right there. That'll work pretty well. Okay. And then let's have the beach. Ooh, let's have this over the chair. Yeah, let's go ahead and move this somewhere, maybe right there. Maybe it's got a little lean to it. I don't know, something like this. I'm not sure what the anchor point of this, but that's all right. Just something like that. Yeah, maybe we do this instead. Hold on, let me back this up. Let's bring it to this side. And if you see, it's clipped to the bottom. It's not a double-sided texture. I'm not even gonna try to fix that because I haven't done it enough to tell you off the top of my head on the fly. So we're just gonna angle it so we don't see it and call that good, right? Boom, something like that. Bring this up a little bit. We should be good right about there. That angle looks a little cheesy, doesn't it? Somewhere right about there. I'm going to turn snapping off up here. This snaps it by 10 each time, so it doesn't go as far. I'm going to change that so then I can just fully have control over things. But I think that looks fine just like that. Maybe, maybe they were playing with a beach ball, a little blow up. It was somewhere. Where's this blow up at? Yeah, that's like over here as well. Whatever it might have been. Maybe they were out here making a little fort. Just random stuff you would find. You can put them wherever you want, right? Now, I'm going to show you guys a little something extra here to make it your own now. I'm going to pull this big cube out, essentially, is what I'm going to call it. Let me back up so I can see where the heck it is, right? This thing right here, I'm going to go ahead and slide it down here. And I'm just going to turn it right that. I'm going to move this over the front top of it. So now it should turn right. Yeah, okay. In order to move this, you just see the white dot in the middle, you middle mouse click and hold and drag it wherever you want, just so you guys understand. If you see me start doing that, like, well, what did you just do? That's exactly what I'm doing. All right. So, all right, cool. How's this look? How are we looking now? We're looking a lot better just from that little bit of an adjustment there. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's turn it a little more. All right, cool. So we're right here. Now, I'm just going to leave it like that. You get the idea. You could put palm trees in here. You could put whatever you want, right? Now, what I'm going to do is to make it more mine is I'm going to add custom logos to this. And this is probably the quickest way to do it on pre-made assets. All right. So we're going to go back into the materials tab here. I'm going to right click. I'm going to make a new material and I'm going to name this one M_logo. Okay. And when you open it, it's going to look just like the one we had, just blank this time, right? We already made one of these. You already know, right? So here's where it gets a little different. Okay. It's much easier, but it's different. I already went ahead and did this. What you're going to do is you're going to get whatever photo editing software you like. It could be anything. GIMP, like free, whatever you want, right? I use Photoshop because I own Photoshop, all right? So all you need to do is cut out what you want on a transparent background. That is it. So this photo was this photo right here, which is the logo of this channel. That's why I chose to use it. I simply just cut him out and he's on a transparent background and that's it. And then you're going to save and export as a PNG, right? So let's go ahead and go, where is it at? There we go. Export, quick PNG, and let's just go like logo. Actually, I know what, I already did it once, so it's already there. Cool. So once you have it exported out, you're going to go back to Unreal. Okay. I'm going to bring up my content drawer. Let's go back to contents, materials. Those are right there. Since I'm showing you guys properly, we'll make another new folder under, I guess I'll make it under materials. I'll get a sub in here, and we're going to name this textures, right? Because that's what it's going to be. So we'll open this up. And I'm simply going to click and drag that photo in. So where's it at? Right here, this icon photo. I'm going to click, pull it in. And if you see, it brings it right here and it makes it into a texture file. Cool. Now, what I need to do is take this texture file and drag it onto this blank material graph. That's what this area is called, the graph. Okay. Now, if I take this RGB and put it in base color, it turns white. And if I take this A for alpha and put it in opacity, which is currently grayed out, you'll see this turns gray because it's not working. It's letting you know, hey, it's connected, but nothing's firing, right? It's not happening. So what we want to do is click on this main material like asset here, node, and then we're going to go to the left side here and under details, right here where it says material domain, it says surface currently, change this to deferred decal. And then the blend mode, we're going to do this drop down to translucent right here. And you know, it looks like nothing's there, but if I move around, let's see if I can find it right there. It's still there. It's just the angle it's at. All right. So now we're going to hit save, apply. Come back to my beach scene, and let's just say I want it on the kiosk. That's where I want this to sit. I can put it anywhere, or maybe I want it on the beach. All I'm going to do is click, and I'm just going to drag it into my scene. And look at that. There it is, huh? So I know I don't want it laying down, right? So let's go ahead and pick it up a little bit. I want to show you something. So do you see this new arrow pointing? That's letting you know what direction it's facing. So mine's actually facing the wrong way currently. So if I were to take this and I were to bend it 90 degrees this way, all right, I'm going to turn, let's do this real quick. We're going to turn snapping back on for this so it's nice and easy. If that's like this, so now when I do this, it'll snap straight till 90, which is right there. It's still facing the wrong way. So what I need to do is go by the Z-axis, which is the blue one, and turn it 180 this way. And of course, you can use this stove over here, but now it's facing the right direction. And that's why it looks messed up on the ground now, because before it was looking at the ground. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to back it up to where I want it to be, which is going to be on this. And look at that. There it is. And if you notice, the further out I am, I'd say further out, I mean this green box here, the further this green box is away from this, the more like, what's called opaque it is. So as I get further, you know, it's deeper and more rich, right? And boom, look at that. There it is. So I can have it on the corners just like that if I wanted. So if you're over here, you see it, or if you're over here, and you're like, it's obviously a little too big. That's not a problem. Watch this. Let's just scale down to 0.3, right? That's a little smaller than I wanted. Let's do 0.5. Cool. I think that looks pretty good. And you would just move it how you want it to move, right? Like, oh, I don't want it. I want to see the whole thing, but if you just wanted the bottom half, that's how you would do it, right? And boom, just like that. And that looks pretty good to me. Cool. Now my logo's in it. Does it make sense for this? No, but you get the idea, right? Now let's just say I'm like, man, I don't want this to say beach kiosk. I wanted to say my freaking name, bro. So I actually already went ahead and cut out Built by Mopes. That's what the other layers were. It's right there, but I already have it cut out. So again, all you do, doesn't matter if it's text, doesn't matter what it is. You're going to put it on a transparent account and export it as a PNG. Okay. So in this object, if I right click on it here, it's all one object. I can't just change out these letters. So if I just put a decal like we just did to the front of this, it's just going to look convoluted under the word beach. I'll just show you real quick. So like, let's just say we go in here, we make another new BBM. Let's say that for Built by Mopes, right? Go into textures. Let's go ahead and find that texture real quick. It's going to be in a boom. And then there's one looking. I didn't see it. Maybe I don't have it. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. Let's just drag this one in. It's right there. Let's go back to that texture. I'm just showing you on the fly, right? I thought I had it open. I do not. Excuse me. There it is. And we're just going to come in here, drag this in just before RGB to base color, alpha to opacity, which is grayed out currently. Click on the main node there. Change this down to deferred decal, blend mode down to translucent. And there it is. It's good to go. Save. Good. Now, if I just drag this in and I want it, I don't know, down low, like down there, that's not a big deal, right? I can just, let's move this to 90 here so we can see what we got going on. Oof, what did I just do? Let's fix this as well. Turn it somewhere right around there. All right, now if we back this on, there we go. You can see it's too big, but it's there, right? Now, if I just put this over beach, the words beach are still there. So the proper fix for this, honestly, is to go and open up this model inside like Blender or something, get rid of all this and like fix it correctly. I'm not going to do all that because this is made for a quick scene that not too many people are going to see, right? So, or they're going to see it, but they're not going to be able to look around and see what's going on. So I'm going to fake it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here to this, like the quick selection. I'm going to go to shapes and I'm just going to get a cube and I'm going to take this cube and I'm going to pull it right where I want it. And I want it right around there. I'm going to turn snapping back off to try to get this angle right around there. It's probably about the right angle for it. probably about right there. Okay, cool. So let's just say that's where I wanted it at, right? So I'm just gonna take this cube and I'm gonna adjust it now, right? So I don't want it very wide. In fact, I'm gonna make it 0.1 on width over here on the scale. I'm gonna drag it out a little bit, somewhere right around there, and I'm gonna lift it up as well, something right about there. Now let's just see how close we are, right? So let's bring it right here, bring this part up, something like that. We gotta bring it way back because we're too far forward here. And it's gonna be somewhere, yeah, we're pretty close, huh? Not too bad for just guessing. Right about there, okay. I shouldn't have put this on an angle. I'm making it hard on myself. Should have showed you guys when it was straight on, but okay. So we're good. Probably right around there, right? So I'm comfortable with that for the most part. I need to resize it a little bit more. And this isn't going to be perfect because A, I don't have that color palette, but B, it's just not going to be, right? So, okay, I'm cool with that. I don't necessarily want it to be this far forward. So let's just sink it in and there we go. So it's just barely sticking out now. And now if I'm over here, like where my camera's going to be, you wouldn't really know. So what I'm going to do to try to sell it a little more is I'm going to put another material on there. So I'm going to create one more here, and this is just going to be, I don't know, M_color. I don't name it whatever you want, as long as you have a naming convention. I'm going to open this one up, and I'm just going to change the base color on this to something that would match or pretty close to match. So like it's wood, it's a little rusted. It's probably somewhere right in here-ish. I don't actually know. I actually feel like that's going to be off a little bit too much. Maybe right in there. I'm not totally sure. Let's just click OK, and let's go back, and I'm just going to apply this. I'm going to type it in right here. Oh, no. Oh, let's try it again then. M_color. Let's try it that way. There it is. And I'm just going to apply that. And I clearly just picked the wrong one. Let's try that one more time. M_color. There we go. Oh, no. Hold on. Whoa. Okay. Whew. Emergency. I clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, so I didn't pick the wrong one. Well, what's wrong with it? I can tell you what's wrong with it. I never saved it. That's it. Look at that. There you go. Okay. So let's say we're doing something like that, and it's still off a little bit, but you get the idea. I could sit here and I could play with it till I got it right. And honestly, if I was using this for real, I probably would. First off, I don't want it this far forward. I would back it up more. So it's like more like that. Looks a little more flush now. And yeah, like that's just too far off for me. I'll try one more time, but I don't have a ton of hope that I'm going to get this right. Let's just bring it down here a little bit. Maybe right around here more. Oh, wait, you know, let's bring this one up. Maybe it's more like right there, huh? How's that look? Save. How close are we? It's just too great, but that's okay. You get the idea. You can sit there and play with it all you want. Honestly, if I was going to do this for real and I played twice like this and I was like, I can't figure this out, what I would do is this. I would just come over here and I would go, let me figure out Old Beach. And there's the one I want, right? I would simply click this, drop her, and I would just pick a different color. I don't think this is going to be the right white. We can try it, but I don't got a lot of hope. Boom. Like, okay, let's just try this then. Apply. Yeah, I would just start doing stuff like that to almost get it right. And now, once you have it about where you want it, and remember, it doesn't need to be perfect because once this goes on, it's not going to matter, to be totally honest. You just make this point 2. Let's just pull this in because I'm going to stretch this one way out once we get going here. So boom. Okay, yeah, we're cooking on this one. So right about there. Little shallow for how dark I want it, right about there. Cool. I think that looks fine. Right. So let's come over here, hit G, and yeah, we're good with that. No, I actually want that bigger. I can tell you right now, I'm going to want that a little bit bigger. So it's right here. Let's just scale it. Which way? This way? Yeah, that'll work. Look at that. Perfect. Maybe up a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. And that's basically it. Now we're done. Now I have my beach scene just like this. Now, the last thing I'm going to do to add a little ambiance is I'm going to make it evening, right? So I'm going to click direct light. This is your sun, in case you're curious. That's what that is. I didn't mean to double click it and shoot myself over there, but that would be my sun, right? So I'm going to come over here, and when you have your sun selected, click on it again, you can change the rotation to change the time of day. All right, so just in real time. So I'm just going to kind of play with it a little bit here, like, let's see. That looks pretty good right there, huh? A little bit too bright. Maybe we back it up a little bit more. Oh yeah, let's get the golden hour. Something like that, I think would look pretty good. And then from here, we're done. All we're going to do is we're going to come over here, content. We're going to right click level sequence, name it anything you want. I'm just going to name this, I don't know, beach. It's a terrible name for a level sequence, but that's what we're going to name it. Click on this right here. This is essentially a timeline you would find in any program out there, like Premiere Pro, Final Cut, things like that. It's where you video edit at, okay? With our sequencer, we're going to go up into the quick add again. This time we're going to go cinematic, syn actor. It's going to make one for you, highlight it. I hit F2 right to name. I like to rename mine so I can always find them. So this is going to be named Cam1. And you see when I have Cam1 selected, I have this little preview, that's showing you what cam 1's currently looking at. So when I bring cam 1 into my sequencer, I'm just going to click and drag it in. It's going to snap to that picture, that little preview. So I do this, boom, that's my whole 3 now. So now when I move around, it is, what's it called? I'm moving the camera. So this will be actually the angle that everybody else sees, right? So get it right where you want it. I like to make sure it's perfect. So right here where my big head is, you can bring your camera speed down. So when you're moving around, you move around slower or faster. So let's kind of make it down a little bit slower. Like, yeah, okay, maybe I want it to be more like this. And I think I like that enough, right? It looks like the ocean is out there. This is all you get to see. This looks pretty good. I'm going to look at the waves here and kind of see where they loop at. How long is it taking? Because I don't want it to be a big issue here. We'll try 30, I guess. I truly don't know. It may clip it. You'd have to sit here and kind of time it out if you're going to do that, right? So like, okay, I'm going to make this 30 frames. I'm not going to sit here all day and play with it. That's fine with me. So cool. Now if I hit loop, this is the actual thing you're going to see. Let's see how it looks. Oh, I think we're good to go. Although it didn't restart. Hold on. Hold on now. Let's go all the way to 30 here. And let's do our end scene there. So that's where it stops at. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, you can't even tell it's looping. This looks pretty good to me. And I think this is what we're going to use. All right, cool. So we're good with that. So what we're going to do now, I like this. I like everything we see here. We're going to export. So earlier we started the movie render queue, and now we're going to need it. So if you go over here, the 3 dots, see how it says quick render and movie render, click movie render queue for me. Click on that, then click on this. You'll get this new menu on the corner here. Click render, and then you want to render out whatever you just named that sequence. I named mine beach. So I'm going to click on beach, click on settings, on saved configures, open this up. We don't want a bunch of pictures of this. Uncheck JPEG, click settings here, and go ahead and click, ooh, Final Cut's new, or I just didn't notice it prior. Anyway, go ahead and click MP4, which is this bottom one right here. And it's like, yep, you want it as an MP4. Okay, that looks good. Go down to output right here. This top one is where it's going to be saved at. So if you're like, I wonder where this is going to go, make sure you know, all right? I'm going to put mine right on my desktop so we can easily find it. Select folder, just like that. Everything else in here looks pretty good. I'm going to do custom frame rate, and I'm going to change this right down here. It's the same but different. So I'm going to do that. And then I actually forgot one thing. Go back up to settings, and we're going to go anti-aliasing, and we're going to change this temporal setting to 32. And then we're going to override, and right here, we're going to change this to multi-sample. Click accept, and we're going to render out locally. And when mine is done, I will see you in OBS. Mine just finished, so let's go ahead and see what we got here. I'm going to drag my OBS over here, and we're going to go we'll just make a new scene. No, we're just going to add to this scene. I'm not going to put all that effort in. We're going to go over here. We're going to click on this, and we're going to add a media source. If I could figure out where my brain was. Media source is somewhere inside these right there. Oh my gosh, don't tell anyone. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and click on this, and we're gonna go browse again. Mine is on my desktop, so we're gonna click desktop, and then mine was named beach. It's right here. Cool. I want it local. I want it to loop, and we're just gonna see what this looks like. I'm gonna disappear probably. No, we'll see together. So my clipping was wrong. See how it's click, click, click. I would have to extend it out because I only made it 1 second because it's 30 seconds per frame. So you would have to play with that. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to do that right now because you get the idea that wasn't the point of the video, right? You would have to extend it past the 30 to find where it's looping back at. For the waves didn't do that. Okay. But yeah, you can see my name and everything in it. Perfect. That's what I wanted to see. The last thing I want to show you guys is how to put yourself inside the scene so it looks more natural. So I'm going to set my little rat avatar right here inside the kiosk. Okay. So first off, let's switch cameras. Give me 1 second. I got to launch another program. Okay, let's say you use an avatar like this and you want him to be in the chair. Well, instead of just setting him here, you see he's kind of like on top of it, or maybe I want him in there, like this is all behind me. What you're gonna do is you're gonna make just an easy mask layer through like Photoshop to do this. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna turn off all this stuff so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, we're gonna come back to Unreal here, right here, and I'm just gonna export one single image. So I'm gonna come up here to says begin render, and this time under unsaved, I'm gonna make sure JPEG's on and MP4 is off, okay? And all I'm gonna do, pick your location, wherever you want it, right? Mine was on my desktop. I'm gonna hit accept, and I'm gonna hit render local. And I'll let it start, and that's enough. That's plenty. Stop. I don't need much. I just want a single frame. There's other ways to do it. This is just like the ghetto quick way to do it, to be totally honest with you. All right, now let's go real quick. Let me click inside here and see if I can figure out where that went. And there's my actual video. So there it is. Boom. This is the file we wanted. And voila. That's exactly what I was looking to see. And it exists. Excellent. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to launch Photoshop. Okay, with Photoshop launched, I'm gonna go ahead and bring my file in here. So I'm gonna go File, Embedded. Again, you don't have to use Photoshop. You can use GIMP. You can use whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. So this is our file right here. I'm gonna click OK on this. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start sectioning things out. And I'm gonna want this area right here, right? I'm not gonna make this perfect because it's just a quick video, but you'll get the idea, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and something like this, because this is where he'd sit. So I want everything from in front of him. Cool. If you want to do it perfect, you'd have to go through to the bars as well, but I'm not gonna do all that. And then over here on the chair, this bar would probably be in front of him, like the little seat area. Let's make sure that's all not a part of this, because none of that would be in front of him. That wouldn't be in front of him. We'll just drag this up a little bit so we have extra in case I slide to the side a little bit, and that should be good right there. And truly, that's all we're gonna do. I'm gonna right click, copy via later, turn this off, and that's all I should need. Okay, so we're gonna go like this. We're gonna go File, Export, quick export real quick. Beach scene is the one I'm gonna name it. Okay, save that. Now let's go back to our OBS here. Let me bring it back across. Whoops. Okay, back in OBS here. Now I'm gonna turn on my media scene. And in addition to that, well, this is gonna be kind of tough, right? I'm gonna turn on my media scene, but I'm also gonna, before I turn it on, just so you can see what I'm doing, I'm gonna come down here, I'm gonna make a new image, and I'm gonna click image, okay, and I'm gonna find that under browse, desktop, and I saved it right here. This is what I want. See how it looks? That's all it is, just that. I'm gonna click OK, and it's important that it's above the media source, which is right here for me. So now when I turn these both on, it's actually off a little bit, and I thought it might be because I did it a little wrong, but in theory, it's the exact same size, but that's okay. I'll just show it to you anyways like this. It's important you see I make mistakes too, right? So we're just going to go ahead and kind of adjust a little bit as needed. You'll get the general idea. All right, so that's about where it'll sit for that area. And the last thing to do is turn the wrap back on, who's directly in between the layers, as you can see here. So without this image on, I'm floating in top still. With this image on, I'm inside it. And if I want him a little higher, I can just drag him up just like that. Same thing, right? Same with the chair here. Obviously, the chair is off a little bit, but I could just adjust it to where the chair isn't off. If we quit snapping around, something like that. Now the chair is directly on, and I'm just sitting in the chair. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. And that is pretty much it. I had to turn that all off. Guys, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching. Thanks for coming along for that journey. I hope you guys found it helpful. I just wanted to say real quick before I go, I just wanted to thank you guys for all like the comments, engagements on the video. It means the world to me. I try to get back to as many people as I can. I read every single one of them, good, bad, negative, either ones that YouTube automatically holds and I just don't acknowledge. I still read them. So, thank you guys for that. I appreciate it. I'm trying to set time aside every week to make sure I can really dive in and get with you guys on things you might be struggling with. So yeah. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and subscribe for me, tell me, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.